Merry Christmas to all the Marvel heads out there on our very special second edition Christmas special. And unlike last year where I was flying solo, I got Preston Lude here finally for a Christmas look back on the best of In the Marbles 2020. Preston, Merry Christmas. How's it going, buddy?
Merry Christmas to you too.
Man,
I love the opening.
Thank you. Last year I did an opening similar to this, and you weren't here, and I remember editing it in the firehouse, and I said, just like Santa, I'm flying solo again this year, and somebody got a big chuckle out of that.
Yep.
And you were sitting there like, oh, God, I can't believe I missed it. And it was the same old song and dance from you because you missed the episode for one reason or another. But today is going to be a special day. We're not going to talk racing at all. This is going to be the best of a look back of season 2 of In the Marbles. It's going to be great. Fun little just driving on the way. When this comes out, it's going to be Christmas Eve. So I'm going to be getting off of work and heading to Caroline's mom's house, and we're going to have a lot of fun up there. But what do you have for Christmas plans? What's going on with Preston and the Lude family for Christmas?
I'll just we'll do Christmas at my house for the girls.
Yeah.
And then we'll head off to I think we'll go to Ashton's parents' house first. And then I think we go to my family's house. I can't remember. We always go to multiple families' houses on Christmas. It's usually pretty big. It's almost like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, we were at 3 different houses during the day, and it's a very busy day.
It's a very busy day. Same here with me. It's Christmas Eve usually happens. We get there, do a little few things, set the presents under the tree, and then we go over to Caroline's grandparents' house where we have a big meal. I think usually Caroline and her mom goes to church, and whereas I sit with her aunt and uncle and drink wine and be merry.
Yeah, be merry.
And then by the time she gets back, she's like, you're cut off.
You're done.
You're done. And I continue to do it because it's Christmas and I don't have to work Christmas Day. I work the day after Christmas. But, man, I'm so glad you're here for this episode. It's very special. I want to thank you first and for sticking around, man. We did 50 episodes this year. And I flew solo for 9 of them, but you were sick with COVID or suspected COVID, the baby. We had a lot of fun this year, man. We're going to get more into what we did this year and stuff, but 50 episodes, man.
That's a pretty big milestone.
That's an episode a week, and it's so much fun, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
To do this, and I appreciate you doing this, man. This is a lot of fun. It's only getting better, and I can't wait to see what season 3 will bring for the In the Marble fans.
I'm excited.
I am too, but here's what we're going to do for this episode. It's going to be a look back through season 2 and some of our hand-picked and favorite moments in the show. Anywhere from the start of season 2 till right now. Best moments of, and I'll get this started off first. In a very special, funny episode where Preston talks about getting COVID tested.
Oh, no.
Episode 46, Preston's COVID testing.
I was a little worried last week when I texted you about being sick.
Yeah.
And then I got hit with the email that I was possibly exposed. And I was like, no, come on.
Yeah, I just had my 3rd COVID test done.
Yeah, I had my second one done, and
it doesn't get any easier with those tests.
Really?
Oh, it's horrible.
I don't know. The second time around was much better for me. The guy that was doing it was great, and he was like,
he was gentle on you.
Well, I mean, he was talking me through everything, and he's like, "You done this before?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is my second time."
It sounds so bad. Oh, the guy took me.
Yeah, he was joking with me and everything. He's like, "Just think happy thoughts," and I was like, "I already did that." So, what?
That's so weird, man. It was so weird.
But I mean, like, you know, I don't even know how long those stupid swabs are, but I mean, like, wait, it feels like they're poking your brain anyways, but 10 seconds wasn't even that bad.
Oh. Just the way you're explaining it,
I know,
man. If we didn't even mention COVID, it would be the most like unnatural conversation I'd have with another individual. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
10 seconds wasn't that bad. Oh, he's gentle on you. Okay, buddy.
Yeah, so it wasn't. It was okay. Everything was fine.
Oh, God.
This is totally COVID related, everybody.
Golly, dude. Okay, let's pick our words wisely from now on here in the show. That almost took a bad turn. I wasn't expecting that today.
Things happen, I guess.
I guess
Sometimes.
so. But and that was Preston's COVID test. And with that, I must say, ladies and gentlemen, a beer is in order. Because my goodness, Preston, when you were giving me that story, what's crazy about that too, that was our first episode on YouTube with the new equipment, with the new setup and the switching and the cameras and stuff. Not our first YouTube episode, because that was a crazy experience, side-by-side stuff. But that was our first episode with the 3-camera setup with YouTube. At that point, I felt like we were going places then. But Preston, you remember that episode?
Yeah, I remember it.
It was so funny, man. It was really funny. I couldn't believe just how funny it was and just how much it just tickled me, man. It was just so funny.
Honestly, I don't think I picked up on the way I was explaining it in like the first 2 minutes.
Well, what was so funny was you were just, oh yeah, he was so gentle, and he said take a deep breath. And it's like so weird,
You've done it
man.
before? Oh, okay.
Oh, you've done this before? Great, you're a vet at this. Good job, buddy.
Happy thoughts, man. Happy
thoughts. I figured you'd get a kick out of that one, but
That was pretty good.
Preston, do you have any memories of right off the top of your head?
I think the one that sticks with me the most is when I had tried to explain that time when we went to the Roval, and I tried to explain why we got locked out of the camper.
Well, see, here's the problem with that one. That was season 1 still. Oh, Preston
man,
doesn't
so-
even know his seasons.
I don't know my seasons. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, honestly.
Oh, man. Well, I'll give you the second one, man. I'm just glad you're here. I'll give you the second one that I could think of right now. And it was explaining the rain delay during the Daytona 500 when I was at Daytona.
Episode 22, Daytona 500 rain delay.
They finally get everything done. They're getting ready to go. Well, wave off. Rain.
Mm-hmm.
They bring the cars right on pit road.
This isn't good.
And, okay, this is going to really suck really bad if this is going to be like this all night. And they pull the cars in, cover them up, little bit of shower. They dry off the track within a matter of minutes.
And I'm looking at the radar while I'm at work at this point, and I'm just like, oh, no.
And well, you're texting me at this point saying, this doesn't look good.
This doesn't look good. I don't like it.
And I said, maybe it's not going to be that bad. They get in the cars. They finally get going. Then caution for rain. Well, bummer. So they bring the cars down on lap 20, stage them, get out. And then that's when it started coming down. Everybody's taking shelter. Fast forward 2 hours.
Yeah, and I'm texting Maples at this point too, because we're texting back and forth. I'm talking to you. Maples is like, well, we might get it in, and I'm looking at the weather, and it's like, there could be a window. We could get something in here at this point.
What a tease at this point. So I met this guy there. I met him Saturday, but I really got to talk to him Sunday, named Chris. He's from Australia.
Oh, cool.
And he came here just for this race.
Man.
Along with a few other things, but this was the big. He's a Harvick fan, so he had a bunch of Busch beer, and somehow he always got free beer. It must have been the accent or something. I just which begs me to ask this question: if I go to Australia, will I get free beer with my American accent?
No,
I won't.
Probably not.
But he got so many beer. That's when I really started kind of, because everything at that point on Sunday was half off.
Oh,
Food, drinks, everything was half off.
okay.
So instead of paying $8 to $9 for a beer, you're paying $3.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I was starting to go, oh, okay, I'll take a beer. Chris, you want a beer? Yeah, mate. And we would drink beers, and he'd have more beers, and he'd have more beers. So what a tease here. About 2 hours after that initial rain delay, after 20 laps, the track is dry.
Yeah.
Drivers have been called to their cars.
I saw it on Twitter.
They're unrolling the cars.
And
And
then,
then it starts sprinkling.
the ceiling fell out.
It was like started sprinkling. It's like, hurry up. We need to get this going. Everybody there's like that. And then they started covering up their cars. We looked towards turn 1.
and you saw it.
I saw the wall.
Oh no.
We quickly grab our stuff, get back under cover, and within 10 seconds, whoosh, the bottom fell out.
Oh my
Track
god.
is gone. And then you started texting me at that point saying the race is going to start at 4.
Yeah, well, Maples had texted me and he said, hey, somebody, I can't remember who it was, because we usually like to get the information from like Bob Pockris is usually spot on with anything he's going to throw out there because he's always at the track. Maples texts me. He says, I think it was Bob Pockris. I don't want to, say for sure that he tweeted out, but Maples said, hey, I saw it on Twitter. They're talking about a 4 o'clock start time. I'm thinking to myself, man, why 4 o'clock in the afternoon? That's odd because I remember some races before that have always had to carry over into the next day or just postpone completely. We were usually starting at like 12 or 1 o'clock.
Right.
Now they're talking about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is understandable. Some people, even though it was President's Day, not everybody had it off. That's cool. I understand that they want people to get home in time to maybe watch the race or something. But I was like, wow, 4 o'clock, that's really going to suck because some people are not going to want to stay around for the whole day the next day just for a 4 o'clock start. I don't know how you felt about that.
Well, when you said it was going to be a 4 o'clock start, I was there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. It always starts at noon. It always starts at noon.
I didn't even believe it either when it was texted to me.
And then that giant voice from the sky came on and said...
I love how the giant voice from the sky.
And ladies and gentlemen, due to the weather delay at the Daytona International Speedway, the Daytona 500 will resume tomorrow, February 17th at 4 p.m. We thank you for your understanding and hope you have a good rest of your day. See you tomorrow.
How was everybody's demeanor after that?
I can't repeat what most of the people said. Even myself, I looked at my dad and just I was upset. He's like, you got to be kidding me. And so my dad was the smart one. He brought a rain suit, like pants and a jacket and everything, and he got it all suited up. We got to go back to the campground.
Right.
It was like, bummer. I'm going to get soaked. And my dad said, well, you should have listened to me, kid. And if only I should have just listened to my dad and the rest of my life, I would have been fine.
Yeah.
So we get back to the campsite. We're soaked. I change. He changes. But at that point, the rain stopped. It was about 10 o'clock at that point. The rain has stopped. We're at this point just, let's go to bed. We're tired. Let's get on with the day. Oh, boy. And that was...
that was a good one.
Oh, man. I tell you, man, that was a fun episode. That was our top... To this date, that's our top-rated episode of In the Marbles. And if you get a chance and you're new to the show, go back and listen to that because that was a lot of fun talking. There's more to it. There's more stories, more to it than that. But that kind of jogged your memory about another memory with rain, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. But before I even say that, I will say this, that I still stand behind that even if you go to Australia with that American accent, you're not getting that dang thing.
No, I'm not.
But they're probably going to look at you and say, who in the world is this guy?
Get out of here, Yank. That's exactly
here.
what they're going to say. Yeah.
You don't belong around here.
It's amazing how much beer he got. He just kept getting beer and beer. Like, beer, mate? I'm like, sure, Chris. And I was getting pretty drunk with him during this rain delay. And then we had to walk back. And needless to say, the cold rain sobered me up quite quickly.
Yeah.
For that one.
I do have a memory about rain. I don't think I ever explained it on the podcast when it happened, but last year at Darlington, when
I remember that,
when there was that big long rain delay for a couple hours, and I don't know why I didn't think. Well, first of all, when you get into an area like Darlington and you pack all these people in, for some reason,
pre-COVID,
for some reason, all the cell service goes right out the window. For me at least, I don't get any kind of service. It might say I have service, but I don't have service.
The bandwidth is taken up, yeah.
Yeah, so the day was not that bad, but then it started to get really overcast in the afternoon, later in the afternoon, and there was these dark clouds hanging around the track, and it's just like, if I would have been able to look at my phone and look at the weather, I would have done it. But I didn't think of anything of it. I was just like, all right, cool. It's getting pretty close to race time. What time? Race probably was supposed to start at like 6 o'clock. It's about 5 o'clock. And my brother and I, yeah, let's go. Let's go to the track. Let's head. So for some reason, there was a lot of lines to get in. I mean, the lines were long to get into the track. And it was unreal. So we're standing there, and it's getting pretty dark. And I'm like, man, that's odd. It's getting really dark. And then Brian's texting me. He's there. He's on the back stretch. She goes, yeah, I'm trying to get in too. There's a wall of water coming, by the way, just on the other side of this. And I was like, please don't tell me that. He's like, yeah, dude, are you looking towards turn? I was like, are you talking about towards turn 1? He's like, yeah, where all those dark clouds are. Yeah, the rain's coming. I was just like, oh no. And like everybody, like you could start to feel the heavy drops falling out of the sky one at a time. And everybody was just like, oh crap. But it wasn't just crap. It was, certain words were said,
right?
Especially for me, I was just like, "Gosh, oh crap!" And like, I wish I would have known right then and there. Why don't we just run back to the car instead of having to stand out We were undercover.
Yeah.
I mean, we got soaked a little bit, but we made it undercover. But I mean, God, it sucks when you have to when you're standing around for like 3 hours, and people are just. Some interesting things go on when you're standing around in the rain with a lot of NASCAR fans.
Well, I'll tell you that because I was at that Southern 500 as well, Preston. And I have three things to say, I think. One, I was the one who went out to the car, and got soaked and changed and warmed up and got away from it all because if they canceled the race, I wanted to be the first one out, which they didn't. Second of all, what a race. Eric Jones won that race. And third, if memory does serve me correctly, you told me that story and you didn't see the finish.
No, I did not see the finish.
Oh, no.
Let me go back a little bit first. So when the rain had stopped, we were walking around and we were trying to figure out, man, what are we going to do? Well, I saw these people going in and out of the track. And I was like, why didn't I think of this before? I went over there. I was like, hey, what do you guys, what are the tickets for? Oh, we're handing them out to people so they can come back into the track if they want. And I was just like, how come I didn't know about this?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do this real quick. Folks, if you're watching on YouTube, there was this my Bojangles Southern 500 ticket with winner sticker from Eric Jones and a little return pass right here on the left side of the ticket. And it says non-transferable. This return pass must be accompanied with valid ticket stub for entry.
Yeah, so
I'm just saying.
My brother and I I was just like, man, so like we left and we went back to the car for a little bit to hang out because, it dried up, but they were just firing up the dryers.
It stopped raining.
Yeah, it stopped raining and they were just firing up. So I was like, it's going to be at least like an hour. It's got to be. Even with the new system, it's going to be like an hour or so. So we went back to the car. At that point, I had realized something also. I did not bring any seat cushions this time. I forgot them at the house.
Bummer.
And I had them pulled out. And I was like, crap. So we were like, man, we need some seat cushions. So we just went and looked and went by the Chevrolet hauler, the merchandise hauler. And, hey, how much are those seat cushions there you got? And they said, well, these are our last two, and they're kind of damaged. And I said, well, how are they damaged? They said, well, the lettering is kind of peeling off a little right here in the corner. $5 each. Here's my money.
That's right.
I'll take it. I don't care. I'll take it. So they're somewhere at my parents' house.
Oh, you don't even know where they're at now.
No, do not. But Daytona Escapades. Speaking of that.
Oh.
I remember doing the Hey Man segment. This just came to me. That Hey Man segment where I ranted on the fans. I was pretty upset about that.
I do recall that. Let's take a listen.
Episode 22, Daytona 500 Hey Man.
Hey, man. So what do you got for us, Preston? What's bugging you so much?
All right, so
here at the end of the show.
Yeah,
towards the end of the
I got to
show,
get it out. I'm sorry.
Get this off your chest.
Yeah, I thought about this for the past couple days, and this little Hey Man segment is not. Excuse me, I'm doing that thing again already.
You're breathing into the mic.
Well, because oh boy, I can tell you right now, I'm really ticked off.
I'm going to tell you this right now. It stings fixing all that in post.
I know.
Quit doing that.
I'm really ticked off. So,
all right, so let's hear
Hey Man segment is a little bit. This is Hey Man. Okay, you guys need to chill out.
This isn't Hey Man. This is
no.
Hey.
This is Hey Man. Now, I understand that people were upset that Denny Hamlin was celebrating. Fine and dandy for them to be upset. I feel now you can't. Let's put it this way. Somebody put on Facebook, this lady, she said, poor sportsmanship from that entire 11 team. You do not celebrate with a driver upside down in a car. Let me tell you something, all right? They don't know what's going on. Now, a lot of the fans, let's put it this way, fans in NASCAR have become complacent. We all have. I'm guilty of it. We see big accidents. We know the safety and how far it's come along nowadays. We know that drivers are going to be getting out of that car. I've seen it plenty of times. I've seen it on YouTube. We talk David Rudman, when he went head on to the wall at Atlanta qualifying, and he rolled the car about the number infinity.
You mean at Texas?
Texas. I don't care where it was. Whatever. I'm ticked off. He got out of the car. He walked away fine. We saw Ryan Newman go upside down at Talladega years ago. He was fine. Kyle Larson wrecked in the Xfinity race at Daytona. Hit the catch fence. Tore the car apart. He was fine. Austin Dillon walked out of the car a couple years ago. Fine, too. Let me put it this way. When you win the 500 and you were coming down that back straightaway, yes, they probably said before you hit turn one, There was a big accident behind you. Nobody knows what's going on at that point.
Safety crews are there.
Yeah, safety crews are there. At that point, your crew chief is telling you, hey, man, we just won the 500. You got guys beating on your door, congratulating you coming down the back straightaway. You're not thinking about anything else in your mind except for you won the freaking Daytona 500.
Right.
So I don't want to hear people talking about trying to bash Joe Gibbs Racing and Denny Hamlin and all these people, bashing them because they're celebrating a win. They won because, Newman got spun out, he wrecked, and he beat Blaney to the line. Great, congratulations. Denny Hamlin is coming to the front straightaway and taking his helmet off and taking his radio off, everything. So nobody is communicating to him in the car. He's not paying attention to what's going on because the car is past us, the pit road exit.
Yeah.
He has much as of a right to celebrate. He might not know right then and there, which he was told in victory lane, hey, this isn't a great situation. But I'm sorry, Beamer, that I'm going like this. I'm trying so hard not to curse because I could curse right now. I really could. But I want people to think for themselves, put themselves in that car, in Denny Hamlin's car. And you cannot tell me that you would not, because somebody said, oh, they're wrecking behind you. All you see is Newman just coming across right in front of you, and that's it. Yeah. You're not looking in the mirror. You're looking straight ahead. So you can't tell me that you know that he flipped without anybody telling you.
Yeah. From my point of view, I agree with you. It was us fans, I think, knew more what was going on than Hamlin did.
Exactly.
And I just showed you the photos. You saw the safety crews around there. You saw Hamlin celebrating. And I saw it, too, where he disconnected his radio and started doing burnouts after the lug nut check and did all that. It was a subdued, hey, I pumped my fist, and the crowd booed him. I think knowing that, hey, right down, like 200 feet down the road or yards or whatever it is a driver who's stuck in his car. He's hurt.
Yeah, clearly. I might catch a lot of flack for this, and you know what? I honestly don't care. I would love for people to challenge me on this point. I really would. And it's a shame on the fans of NASCAR who are sitting behind the keyboard, who are putting on Facebook, trying to shame these people, which really upsets the living crap out of me because they don't put themselves, because even I thought about it first. I was like, man, this is kind of crappy that he's celebrating. But then again, I'm thinking to myself, maybe he doesn't really know to begin with.
No, and even Joe...
We're not in his shoes. I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, go ahead.
We're not in his shoes, but if I were to ask people to be in his shoes, I know immediately that they would say, oh, I would not celebrate. That is complete bullcrap, and you know it.
Yeah, you were pretty heated there.
I really wish I would have caught flag for that. I'm surprised I didn't catch any flag for that whatsoever. Just imagine if I would have cursed that entire time.
Now, see, that was our 22nd episode of In the Marbles. We've done 40 plus since then. I'm just saying, man. I mean, we've grown a little bit more since then, and now we're on the Unhinged Sports Network. Speaking of the Unhinged Sports Network, we're going to take this opportunity for some ad reads and a plug from Fanatics from us for the Unhinged Sports Network. This is In the Marbles, and we'll be right back with more memories of Season 2 of In the Marbles. Hey, race fans, want more In the Marbles content? Make sure to subscribe below and check out our videos over here